Jimmy the Bag. It's an NFL contest. We have an NFL game tonight, and I'll tell you what, on tonight's game, let's get into it because I did decide to make one pick in tonight's game, my 3-unit play in the bag contest this week. Can you believe that?
Ooh, I'm excited.
Pretty
to hear
surprising.
What it is.
Yeah, you want to take a guess on what it is? Of course, the game tonight, let's preview the game, right? The Jets against the Bills. The Bills, of course, coming off a big win against Oakland last week. They're third off a bye. The Jets, you know, kind of a crappy team, but a little bit better than people were giving them credit for. They got another cover last week against Atlanta, which I think makes them 5-0-1 ATS over their last 6 games. So despite the fact that they have not been winning games, they have been covering. We have so that was a Thursday night game at New York. Jets a small home underdog of about 3 points. Total's about 42.5. Of course, the Bills added Kelvin Benjamin. I think he is going to play, right? Do you have any news about that?
I believe he is going to play.
I believe he is going to play. I believe also there are a few injuries on defense for the Jets as well, which is not great. Total's 42.5. Jets +3. Jim, do you want to take a bet, a prediction, a guess on what my 3-unit play in the bag contest was? Because obviously I'm going to make an official pick in this show.
I'm nervous about making this guess, but I will guess you are taking the over.
Not bad, Jim Rebag. Not bad. Good guess. Good fucking guess. Yes, I did take the over. I made it my 3-unit play in the Jimmy the Bag contest, although that contest, I believe, uses bet online lines, and so I had to take 43, not 42.5. So my play for this one will be 42.5. And Pinnacle actually has plus 100. So I'll make that one my official pick. I did bet this one. I bet it at 42.5. In the bag contest, I had to take 43, and that can be a key number in NFL total, so that's not so great, but I made it the pick anyway. My reasoning, basically, Buffalo's looking pretty damn good offensively, right? And the Jets, not very good offensively, but better than people are giving them credit for. They do have some playmakers. McCown, you know, a veteran who knows how to be efficient. The offensive line is a big negative, obviously, for the Jets, so that's a negative, and that is not good for the over, but it's a modest total, and I think the Jets are going to be able to put up, you know, some degree of contribution to the total. Probably Buffalo has another, you know, nice offensive day. Benjamin in there can't hurt. Adding it all up together, I made an official pick, Jim, and I bet it, and I gave it in the bag contest.
I think that's an extremely interesting and a good call. And man, I'm thinking about it very seriously now myself.
Well, what's your take on the game? Did you make a bet on this one? Did you have a pick on it? What's your general take on it, Jim? We'd love to hear.
Well, I think you are absolutely on the right track. Jets are 27th in the league, allowing 128.2 yards a game on the ground, which means Shady will be running and running and running. And Bilal Powell, I've been very impressed with this year. So you're right, there are playmakers on the Jets side of the field as well. And Jamal Adams is a great player in the secondary for the Jets. But when I look at their roster, that's all I see is Jamal Adams. I don't see anybody else. And I don't know what Benjamin is going to bring this early in his stint with the Bills, but if he brings anything to help Deontay Thompson and the boys, they should be able to run the ball, pass the ball, and put up points. So I absolutely think you're on the right track.
I hope he brings something, but even if it turns out that he's sitting, I'm still okay with it. Yeah, so that's an official play for me. And if I had to have a lean on the side, I would take I didn't actually bet it, and I probably won't, but I would lean Jets +3. I know that the Bills are a better team, but it's a little bit of a tough, tricky spot. We've seen this now this is a different Bills team from years past. This is a very impressive team. Tyrod Taylor, super impressive, awesomely efficient at quarterback, but still, we've seen the Bulls and the Bills in the past, you know, have games where it looked like they had a big edge, were very likely to get a win, very likely to get a cover, and just not quite show up as much as people thought. And again, the Jets, you know, not a good team. The offensive line is a big issue. I hope the offensive line holds up enough to get the over here. But other than that, I would be leaning Jets +3. I didn't bet it, and I definitely bet the over. Made it a 3-unit play, and that's an official pick. Over 42.5 +100 is the line right now at Pinnacle.
Very interesting. I've lost 2 Thursdays in a row, and I'm gun shy. I'm not making an official pick on our show with this, but man, am I going to study that over intensely. I really think you're on the right track.
I mean, look, obviously, there's a reason why the total is low. The Bills like to run, and if they have a little bit of a worse running game than they usually have, that's terrible for the over. The Jets, you know, maybe better than people are giving them credit for offensively, but still subpar offensively, right? McCown, you know, efficient, but still pretty shitty. Right?
38 years old.
The offensive line, a massive liability. early. So, you know, there's obviously reasons why the total won't hit. That's also why the total's low. And, you know, maybe I was a little bit hasty in making it a 3-unit play in the bag contest, but I don't think I was hasty in making it a bet. If it loses, I'll be okay with that. I'll be annoyed with that because I do care about those contests. Those contests do actually matter to me. But, oh, Jesus, I was going to read the comments, but now the tablet's gone. What happened? What happened?
I don't know, but I can read some comments for you.
Yeah, any comments about the NFL game?
Yeah, they talked about what the weather is like in New York tonight. My man Scott K came in, said no rain. Supposed to be 72 during the day.
Right.
Eric Mullins thinks the under is a play.
Really?
Justin Searcy says the short week always produces the opposite of whatever the trend is. Bills dominated. Tolmore comes in and says Bills dominated the Jets first time they played, nearly double the yards. Justin Searcy thinks the Bills team total is looking like a play.
As an over. Yes,
Yeah.
I was thinking about that one as well. And that one would be about 23 or so. Yeah, I mean, look, as far as the short week producing the opposite of what the trends are, obviously the short-term trend for the Bills is that the offense has been a lot better. The Jets have kind of been, slightly subpar offensively, a little bit better recently. But yeah, look, the under might be the play. I might be dead wrong here.
Well, Tomore's with you. He says,
Really?
I lean over. I think the only issue is that Curley's out, and if the Bills have the lead, they might go conservative.
Yeah, of course. I mean, anything can happen in the NFL, as we know. Also, it could be high scoring in the first half and then very low scoring in the second half. It just felt like a good play one way or another. Hopefully there, maybe a defensive scorer here or there will help things out. But yeah, so I'm taking the over on this one.
Delta 7575 says Bills 31-22 win.
Okay, nice. I mean, it might be close. It might be a 24-20 game and just get over. But I was happy to take it at 42.5. I like 42.5, obviously a lot better than the 43. And you can make a great case for the under, but I'm going to take it. All right.
And Benjamin's props are 57.5 yards. Jansen Bronson just came in and gave us that. 57.5 yards. So, I mean, obviously the books are expecting Benjamin to look good.
Yeah, so that would hopefully help. And yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe it's very possible it'll be 0-0 after the first quarter, and I'll be like, wow, I'm on the wrong side of that one. But that'll be okay. If the pick loses, if the bet loses, that's okay. I'll be most annoyed by having made it a 3-unit play in the bag contest because last week I lost my 3-unit play with the under on the Bills game, and then later on, like 2 seconds, like 15 seconds after I made that bet, I was like, what am I doing? The Bills minus the points was obviously the play there and the 3-unit play of the week.
You were unlucky. My best bet was the over, and I was very fortunate. It was 7-7 with 20 seconds left in the second quarter, and they got that fluke defensive touchdown.
Flukes happen, though.
And then 3 minutes left in the game, Shady runs for 50-yard touchdown. I mean, you were unlucky. I was very fortunate to hit that.
All right, well, maybe we can revisit this game later on, but we've talked enough about it right now. Let's move on to college football, shall we, Jim? Once again, I nailed it last night, didn't I? Central Michigan puts me at 2-0. I told you I was back in college football, didn't I?
You were back.
Early in the week, I said I'm back in business in college football. I was 8-4 last Saturday in the morning show with Big Man, and this week, 2 picks, 2 winners.
Beautiful. And Drew came in to put fear into your
What did
pick.
he say?
Remember, he came in and he had the other side. Remember?
Oh, he did, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
-3.5. And
I'm sorry about that, Drew. I'm sorry that you had a loser on that. Well, maybe he didn't have a loser on that. He was just maybe he was
no, he
asking the
did.
question.
He had a loser on that one. It's very fearful when you go against the legend Pistol Pete
That's
Loshak.
right. When I'm on my unless I'm sick or unless you know that I've loaded up on benzos the last couple of days, then if you're on the opposite side of me, that's a good sign.
There's our new song, Loaded Up on Benzos, man. It's a hip hop song.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, we should write some gambling songs. If Loshak's loaded up on benzos, go opposite him. Yeah, listen, I knew I was back in business, and look, I mean, Western Michigan was winning big for most of that game, and as I actually nailed that game perfectly because, as I said I don't think Western Michigan's offense is going to take a big hit from the quarterback change, and I said I like the over, and the over, of course, did cash. So
cashed easily.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that Central Michigan was a huge percentage play. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it was a 45 percentage play, and I just got lucky, But that's 2 winners for me in college football. Now let's talk about the games tonight. Very interesting games. Not exactly sure if I'm going to give a pick on them. I definitely have some leans, and I definitely did make a couple of bets, but I'm not sure if I like them to make a pick. The big game, obviously, is Northern Illinois and Toledo, right? A huge MAC game, biggest game of the year for both of these teams. Toledo's an 8-point favorite. Toledo, clearly the better team here, right? The question is, are they 8 points better? I'm not totally convinced of that, and I did bet Northern Illinois, and I gave that as I did bet. What the hell is that? Who's that?
I think that's Drew knocking.
Yeah, that's Drew and knocking. All right. I am leaning Northern Illinois. I did make it a bet. I don't know if I want to give it as a pick. It is 9 at Heritage right now, but that's the way I'd be leaning on that one. Jim, do you have anything to say about that one?
Yeah, Logan Woodside looks absolutely awesome. 19 touchdowns, 2 picks. Rockets are averaging 40 points a game. The big question is whether the Huskies defense, which is pretty good, tied for 16th in the nation, only allowing 8 points a game, can get stops. And it's a tough proposition to stop these Rockets.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any comments? People talking about the college football game? Because I'm definitely leaning Northern Illinois, 9. Heritage has 9 right now, and UWager has 9. Other places have 8. Other places have 7.5. Intertops has a strong lean to Northern Illinois here. They're hanging 7.5. Any comments on that?
T-Bone Low says over for sure in that one. Searcy has come in and says Northern Illinois has a great defense. He says he's going to let it get bet up and probably take it.
Okay.
And yeah, that's about it.
Northern Illinois, yes, they do have a great defense. In games like these, thank you very much. I get scared of teams with big offenses going up against big defenses in primetime games. But what the hell is that? What knocking is that? There's someone back. Hey. No, get us a sledgehammer. We want to pound the hell out of whoever's on the other.
Chinese ghost, guys. Don't
No,
worry
what
about
the?
it.
Hey, shut the fuck up! The fuck up! I'm gonna kick your fucking ass.
We're delivering winners over here.
We're producing an elite sports betting internet media here. So shut the fuck up.
Man, I like this.
Fucking kidding. Yeah, when I get pissed off, you don't want to be on the wrong side of me.
Man,
all right,
respect.
okay. Let's see if some people gave some LOLs for that one. Here we go. All right, okay. All right. Okay, anyway, getting back to the elite level handicapping here that Jim and I have been doing all week long and in the past couple of minutes. I'm also leaning Temple plus the points against Navy. Navy, now this is a tough one because it's obviously a big revenge spot for Navy. Navy got blown the F out last year, and they got a ton of injuries. They got beat the F down. And so now they're coming into this one. They're looking for revenge. They haven't really been blowing teams out much this year. Temple, obviously much weaker team than they were last year, but still scrappy, getting a lot of points here. This is also their second week in a row against an option team, obviously, and that has to help them. I think it wouldn't be a good idea if it was like a regular week, but they have extra rest after the Army game. Now Navy is obviously better than Army offensively, but Temple has that replacement quarterback who had a good game against Army last week. So all things considered, I would be leaning Temple here as well. I did also bet that one. I like that one a little bit less than the Northern Illinois bet, and I did bet both of those. Again, on both those games, I'm sort of just not sure if I want to make them official pick yet.
Yeah, Zach Abbey will be back.
Yes.
So that the rest is obviously going to help Navy, and their triple option is extremely fun to watch. Abbey has 8 straight 100-yard rushing performances. They rush for 376 yards a game. But when you know that's the only way you can get beaten by a team, you can set up a defense for that. I mean, sure, you're going to get touched for yards, but Temple should be able to know that Navy can't beat them through the air. I shouldn't say can't, but are very unlikely to beat them through the air. Put 8 guys in the box and try to slow them down. I can understand why you like Temple, and a lot of guys out here do too. Jesus Cabrera likes Temple plus 8. My man Searcy likes Temple, says Navy's offense is slumping. People are with you on this.
Yeah. So wait, Searcy said Temple slumping. He said.
No, he said Navy's offense is slumping.
Right. And just the fact that the quarterback is coming back from a tough concussion. I mean, obviously he's a tough kid, but that's not ideal either. And again, it's just a few more points, and Navy just hasn't really been blowing people out. So my leans would be Temple and Northern Illinois. I did bet both of those. The Ball State Eastern Michigan game is a very tough one. Obviously, Ball State has been horrifically awful recently. They might be a little bit better offensively here, and my sense is that Eastern Michigan also might be in a spot to run up the score for them a little bit. So I would have a lean to the over on that one as well at 47. I wanted to look a little bit into it more, a little bit further. Let me just find my notes about that one. That was something. There's also supposed to be some rain in that one, but I was thinking about over 47 in that one. I didn't make a bet on that one, and as far as the side is concerned, obviously it would have have to be Eastern Michigan or nothing for me. But I wouldn't. I'm just a little bit concerned that Ball State's offense might be a teeny bit better than they have been in the past 4 weeks or so, and that they'll come back and put up a few more points.
24 points is a huge spread. Now, I had to do the math when I was looking at Ball State. They've been outscored 200 to 32 in their last 4 games. So I think that I just think that they're not giving Ball State enough opportunity when they will have opportunity against Eastern Michigan. I think 24 points is just very, very big and too big.
Yeah. Too big.
I think it's too big. I think that Ball State can cover the 24.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky one because Ball State did, with their latest QB, they've had all sorts of QB issues. Their latest QB, they did put up 17 last week with that guy. So, if it winds up being like a 30-17 game, then Ball State would cover. But there's no way I could take Ball State here. I would have a lean to the over. I mean, I definitely think that if Ball State covers, it's probably because they were somewhat okay offensively and the game went over. Eastern Michigan's defense might be a little bit worn down from the overtime games over the past couple weeks, and Eastern Michigan also knows that they don't have to have a clampdown game defensively to get a win here. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that the over might be a good play here. And you know what? I'm just concerned about the rain and wind. There is some inclement weather in the offing. So I'll have to think about it. Maybe I'll give it, but those are my leans as of right now. The other one, Idaho and Troy, I actually didn't have time to look into that deep enough to give an opinion on it, but I would definitely be leaning over 51 in that one. Troy, as I mentioned, I thought was underachieving in their passing game for much of the year, and they were going to make an improvement in their passing game in their recent weeks, and that did actually come to pass. And actually, one of my totals plays last week was the over in the Georgia Southern game, which was a casher. And for the same sorts of reasons, I kind of like the over 51 in this one as well. So let me see. Let me just go look at. Do you have anything to say about any of those games, Jim? While I scan some of the comments.
I think Idaho
here
is better than their record indicates, and that was a big win over USA, who defeated Troy. I think that the line is maybe. I think Idaho could cover here. Obviously, Jordan Chun is rested, and that's going to help them a lot. Their defense is 17th in the nation, only allowing 17.3 points a game. These are tough. These are 4 tough college games to figure out.
They really are. And some interesting comments here. So people really liking Temple a lot more than I would have expected, just because Navy's clearly the better team this year, and they're playing with major revenge. I mean, they got beat down. In their own home, Jim the Bag. In their own home, they got beat down by Temple last year, and the coach is like saying, I don't want anyone talking about it, but these fucking kids remember, obviously, So that makes me concerned, and on top of that, the fact that Navy is clearly the better team here. But Alish Vishnevsky says Temple all day. Tomarino Tomor says Temple seems to be playing much better than the first month of the season, which is absolutely true, and I actually mentioned that about midway point. I said that I thought the Temple was going to make a turn because they had horrible offensive line play to start the season, but they improved on their offensive line, and that was something they were focused on, and that really helped them out. So yes, Navy defense is garbage. Yes, so some surprising. Yes, Temple allows 4.6 run yards. Adam Lastman says, yeah, Temple doesn't have a good run defense, but again, last week against Army, against their triple option, they actually had a pretty good run defense game last week, and now they're facing, again, another option for the second week in a row with a little bit of extra rest. So that is a positive factor for me on Temple. But yeah, a lot of people talking about Eastern Michigan. Jesus Cabrera likes it. Justin Searcy says EMU. That's a lot of points. Yeah, I mean, it's just that the Ball State is so bad. Alex Wisniewski likes Temple. T-Bone Low likes +8 home dog all day. Let's see. Where the hell are they? Yeah,
CRC has the Capitals going. Temple is probably the most stable college football bet. Jesus Cabrera says Capitals. Temple with points +8.
Temple +8 all the way. Wow, a lot of people really liking. And Bookie Lover Q says best freaking show every day. #facts. Bookie Lover, thank you so much. Love comments like that. All right, yeah. Slew says Temple saw Army and their option style 2 weeks ago. They'll be ready for Navy. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I just, again, my only question is just that it's a revenge spot for Navy, and they're the better team, which doesn't make me feel too confident about fading them here. It's just the spot I don't really like. All right, I guess we have to move on. We have to move on for wait. Also, Man saying, haven't showered for over a month. Who, me or him? Who's he talking about? I know I look unkempt sometimes, but let's see who that.
Well, you smell terrific.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So I can guarantee you this man showers often.
Okay, let's see. Sunny Bet says, just a heads up, Temple was a sports bet play of the day yesterday. Okay, I'm off it. All right, I'm up. No, just kidding. just a joke there. It's just a joke there. Sonny Betts says, just a heads up, Temple was the sports bit play of the day yesterday, so it's probably screwing the chat box a little bit. Got to Devato says, wow, Toledo -8. Yeah, I mean, I can see, Toledo has, if Toledo's offense gets going and Northern Illinois' defense stumbles a little bit, Toledo could easily run away with it with double-digit spread. So, I really liked Bowling Green. I really liked Central Michigan. But neither of these plays I'm really liking as much as I want to be liking them. So maybe I'll just do a pass on it.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.